This is a civilization restoration file from the year 3026. Your memory of the hippo is completely wrong. That round, adorable, vaguely cartoonish image in your head, it doesn't match the archive data at all. Africa's records show this animal killed more people every year than lions, crocodiles, and leopards combined. You thought you knew it. You didn't. The hippopotamus, a large African animal profoundly misunderstood by humans. Let's start with the data. An adult hippo could weigh up to 3 tons. Its mouth could open nearly 150 degrees. Bite force exceeded 8,000 newtons. That's more than twice the force of a lion. Its canine teeth could grow up to 50 centimeters. Not for eating meat. Hippos were herbivores. These teeth served one purpose: combat. On land, a hippo could sprint at 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, faster than most humans. And it wasn't chasing prey. It was just angry. African statistics showed that approximately 500 people were killed by hippos each year. More than by lions. More than by leopards or crocodiles. The hippo was considered one of Africa's deadliest large land mammals to humans. But when we scanned 21st century popular culture, the image was completely reversed. Hippos appeared in baby toys, animated films, theme parks. Round, pink, smiling. An animal that killed 500 people a year was categorized, in human perception, alongside teddy bears. Our research team sat in silence for a long time. We dug deeper. Hippo skin secreted a red liquid. 21st century humans once thought this was blood sweat. In reality, it was a natural antibacterial sunscreen. It blocked UV rays and prevented wound infections. Hippos spent most of their time in water. But here's a key fact: they couldn't actually swim. Their body density was too high to float. They walked along the riverbed. Like a 3-ton diver, they could hold their breath underwater for up to 5 minutes. When sleeping, they automatically surfaced to breathe, then sank back down. The entire process happened without waking up. Hippos were fiercely territorial. Anything entering their waters, crocodiles, boats, humans, was treated as an intruder. It wouldn't warn you first. It would charge directly. Archives contain numerous capsizing incidents. Fishermen's small wooden boats flipped from below by hippos. The calmest waters were often the most dangerous. Because the hippo was underwater, watching you. The most surprising case appeared in South America. In the 1980s, Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar kept 4 hippos on his estate. After his death, no one dealt with the hippos. By the 2020s, those 4 hippos had multiplied to over 100. They occupied the local river system, displaced native species, and contaminated water sources. A drug lord's private hobby became a national ecological disaster. The Colombian government eventually had to launch a hippo control program. But they faced a tricky problem: public opinion. Because in human perception, hippos were cute. Killing an invasive species destroying the ecosystem was ecologically sound. But killing an animal that looked cute was almost impossible to push through in public opinion. This exposed a deep cognitive bias. Human willingness to protect a species had almost nothing to do with its ecological value. It had to do with its appearance. Round, big-eyed, seemingly clumsy, worth protecting. Fangs, scales, slender, not worthy of sympathy. The hippo was an extreme case of this bias. It was dangerous, violent, and fiercely aggressive. But because its body was round, its face was blunt, its movements were slow, humans automatically classified it as harmless. However, hippos themselves faced challenges. Habitat loss and poaching caused African hippo populations to decline throughout the 21st century. Their teeth, those combat canines, became substitutes after the elephant ivory trade was restricted. Humans first misunderstood it, then commodified its image, then hunted it. That exact sequence appeared again and again across every large animal humans ever encountered. But hippos played an overlooked role. They were a keystone species in river ecosystems. They grazed on land at night and returned to water during the day to defecate. Their waste provided massive organic nutrients to rivers, sustaining entire underwater food chains. Rivers without hippos saw drastic declines in fish species and populations. An animal humans treated as a cartoon character was actually the lifeline of an entire river. Looking back 1,000 years later, the hippo may be the best specimen of human cognitive bias. A species could simultaneously be deadly, adorable, ecologically crucial, misunderstood, commodified, and hunted. These identities didn't contradict each other. What contradicted was that humans only wanted to see one of them. If you ever thought hippos were cute, you may be experiencing what every human experienced 1,000 years ago, replacing understanding with appearance, replacing facts with image. It's not your fault. It's just the human default setting.